Good afternoon. Well, it's afternoon for me anyway, and thank you for joining me for another episode of Total Ramblings. It is Wednesday, the 29th of October 2025. It is 18 minutes past 4 in the evening. It's already getting dark because the clocks changed recently. So yay, I get to drive everywhere in the dark. Anyway, I hope you're all doing very well. I have had Monday was a brilliant day at work. Yesterday was today was kind of so I think I'm getting a little bit of my mojo back. Unfortunately, random things keep setting me off into despair and melancholy. Last night, for example, I was pottering around in the kitchen and there's a huge pile of Pyrex dishes and plates and bowls and things that is basically gathering dust, quite literally, and it hasn't been used in 2 years, and that's because Liz used to use those for cooking Sunday lunch and other meals, and all this stuff's just sitting there not getting used, and every day I just feel bad that my wife isn't at home able to interact with all these things that she owns, that are hers. She can't live in the house that is ours. It's just kind of upsetting. However, I am taking her some of her cuddly toys today. This is Bagpuss. And also we have Paddington Bear. Now, Paddington Bear was the very, very, very first thing that I bought my wife the day that we met. Let's talk about how I met my wife. There used to be an online chat program in the late 1990s called ICQ, and you could do a random chat thing, and my wife Elizabeth randomly chatted a friend of mine called Karen, and Liz said, "Do you happen to know any blokes?" And Karen, next thing you know, Karen's given me Liz's number, and we chatted on ICQ, and then we spoke on the phone for hours and hours and hours that night. And the very next weekend I hired a car and I went to visit her at her house, which is not too far from where I am now and where we live now, just around the corner really. And I bought her a Paddington Bear, and I have a photo of her holding Paddington Bear that weekend. I ended up staying the weekend. Make of that what you will. I ended up staying the whole weekend, and I think 7 months later I asked her to marry me, and then a year and a few months after that we got married. All this time she had myotonic dystrophy and we didn't know, and there was this ticking time bomb in her body. That's what is astounding to me, that this thing was always there. The other astounding thing is that before Liz first went into hospital, about a month before, her dad died, and her dad lived his entire life and died never knowing that myotonic dystrophy was even a thing, let alone that it was running in his family, and that both his children had it and that his grandson has got it. And it's astonishing to me that all this stuff has come out since he died, and he died in blissful ignorance that this was even a problem. Anyway, so yes, I'm taking Paddington and Bagpuss to Liz for her room, as a representation of all of her other cuddly toys. of which she has lots, and I have lots. We all have lots. But yeah, so that's where I'm on the way to now, having just finished work. Tomorrow I'm going to Wimbledon, because I do need to get out of the house and I need to interact with some people and get a bit of daylight in my eyes, and I do need to try and make an effort. And now that I am no longer wearing a nappy, I feel confident to do that, assuming nothing horrendous happens. We are currently at 7 days since the last incident, which is when my tooth fell apart. Anyway, I'm not going to tell you this news until I'm on this next bit of road, because I need to kind of fully concentrate on the fact that there is a literal convoy of traffic blocking me from pulling out right now. Could probably pull out in this next gap. Yeah, let's do it. And brilliant, gap there as well. Right, I am now on the A339. The other momentous news: Alice got engaged yesterday to her boyfriend Matt, whom she's been with for 6 years. She got engaged. I'll put some pictures of the ring up, because she came home briefly today and I asked to look at the ring, and I took some photos of it. So that's good. I got asked yesterday how I felt, and I didn't really know, and I'm not unhappy about it. I'm kind of, and I don't mean this in a horrible way, and I've just said this to Alice as well, I'm kind of indifferent to it, because it's not my life. Do you know what I mean? It's Alice's life. She's doing what she wants to do. I'm happy for her. I don't mean that to be an arsehole. It's just, yeah, it's good news for her. So, yeah, don't know when the wedding's going to be. So, that's what happened yesterday. So there you go. I am visiting Liz this week, Wednesdays and Thursday. So I don't think I've got much else to say now. I'm just kind of waffling on to try and fill the time, and I don't need to fill the time because I'm driving, and that is enough to fill the time. foodings? Who wants foodings? Monkeys. There you go. It's Saturday, my favourite day of the week. I actually think, look at this, by the way, I can just show you this. I don't know if you can see that, but we have made it to 10 days without an incident. First time we've got to double figures since I bought that. Anyway, it's Saturday, my favourite day of the week. I think this week I'm going to tempt fate, and I'm going to say it because either the world is going to deliberately prove me wrong and make me look to be an arsehole by saying this, or it's going to meet my expectations. But I've had a very nice week. I've got my mojo back at work, I think. I like to work. Work doesn't define me. Work isn't my sole reason for existence, but work pays the bills. And I do like to think that I've done a good job at work, and I do feel a great sense of satisfaction when I think I have. And this week I think has been good. I went to Wimbledon on Thursday, so I got out of the office for the day, and that was good. It's good for my mental health, I think. Anyway, a bit of an update this week. This turned up from my Lego order. Still got a couple of things on the way. This is set 40809, the Festive Gingerbread House, 498 pieces. Another part of my Christmas present from my wife. Thank you, Liz. And something else turned up. The new Garth Marenghi book, This Bursted Earth. This book will crease your spine. So we've already got the earlier Garth Marenghi books. So the Marenghi verse is expanding. Of course, I've got Dark Place on DVD. I have decided I'm going to try and read House of Leaves again. I don't mean try. I don't mean that in a negative way. I've got 2 copies of House of Leaves. I've got the original one, and I've got this one, which is in colour. And I'm looking forward to reading this version. I've read the other version. I've read House of Leaves cover to cover, and it's an amazing book. Unfortunately, look, I've left a bookmark in there and it's made a little stain. That's kind of weird. Anyway, yeah, so I'm looking forward to reading this version because basically it's got like coloured kind of text in some areas, making it a bit, because basically House of Leaves, very, very complicated book. It's a story about a story about a story about a story about a guy reading the story. It's kind of freaky. Anyway, excellent book. I'm going to read this version now. Tonight is the fireworks. Last year I did a video, but it's raining at the moment. I'm not putting the drone up in the rain. I am charging the drone, drone number 1, my Mini 4 Pro, just in case. I haven't flown the drone for ages. I hardly flown it at all this year, but I'm charging it just in case the rain stops. Anyway, I've just got back from town because I got paid yesterday. I'm a very lucky boy because I thought I might get docked some pay for extra sick days that I've taken. It's possible that still might happen next month. But I'm a very lucky boy because I actually got paid my regular amount, which is something else I've been worrying about. So I got paid. It was payday. And also my company, the company that I work for, they've switched their healthcare provider to Aviva. But they also do an overnight hospital kind of NHS charge. So I stayed in hospital. I was in hospital for 6 days. They're sending me a cheque. The first 3 days they don't pay for, but they're sending me a cheque. So I've already paid that money to the joint account because I did a bit of shopping last night. The house is fully stocked with supplies. Anyway, I've just been into town, and this is the Doctor Who calendar for next year. There are 3 Doctor Who calendars, one of which has features Ncuti Gatwa's tenure as the Doctor, one of which features all of the Doctors, and then there's this one. Now I bought this one because every year I kind of get the one that has all the Doctors in, and I also have the Ncuti Gatwa one upstairs, so I had 2, and I was getting a bit bored of just, oh, it's January, it's William Hartnell again. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, this one, it's basically got kind of like posters for each of the months. So that was good. Then this one is for Liz, for her hospital room, Mickey Bubble. We're not doing Robbie this year, apparently. I've got this one for the kitchen. We always have a Tuxedo Cats one. And finally, for the office, I've got this one. I also went to Kushti Comics, and I found 2 of these. So that's quite good to go with the space, the Lego space sets that I've got. Only $3.99 a piece, so that's good. Definitely didn't have those. I went to Hotel Chocolat and got some milk chocolate batons for Liz, so I shall take those tomorrow. Also, now, I don't think I'm in this one. I actually had a letter in Viz last year. That might have been prior to me starting this vlog, actually. I've been trying to get a letter in Viz for years. And it's because it's kind of been one of my, dreams to get a letter in Viz. And but they tend to be at least a year behind in terms of their annual releases, in terms of the issues. I can't remember what issue I was in. I had my letter in, so I did have a quick look in the shop. I was going to buy this anyway because I've got them all to see if my letter was in here, but I couldn't see it. So I'll go through it again and have a look, just in case I missed it. But if it's not in this one, then it will definitely be in next year's one. My letter to Viz that finally got published. So I was
I'm able to sort of rest in peace almost from that perspective, if that makes any sense. That's been an ambition of mine for years. Another ambition of mine was been to get something in private eye, but I've never managed that. I was writing to private eye, sending stuff in at least 25 years ago, and I got something back from Ian Hislop once saying no, but keep trying. And I never did keep trying. So, you know, that's kind of my next ambition, is to be in private eye, and not in a bad way, not in a sort of this man's corrupt kind of way, because I don't think I'm corrupt. Dr. Sinister, my alter ego, is definitely corrupt, but he's not me. So yeah, I'm just flicking through this again, seeing if I've missed my letter, but I honestly didn't think I was going to be in this one anyway, but I'm pretty certain that I'm going to be in the next one. Anyway, we'll have a look at that later. Also got this year's Dad Jokes book. I always get these. I've got the whole collection because sometimes they're good to torment people at work. Oh, look what I got. This is Ruffety Puppy. He's a jelly cat. Got him in Waterstones. I liked him. He was nice. Also, got some Doctor Who socks, TARDIS socks, and Dalek socks. So they were quite nice. I'll have to blur this out. This is a little stocking filler for Alice for Christmas. And I decided to get myself a lucky cat. It can't hurt, right? Hooks for Liz for her room. Need to get some Christmas lights. And then finally, and I will be doing a video of this, some more Star Wars retro figures. One of these is brand new, has never been done before in the sort of Kenner style. But we've got Walrus Man, Dr. Evazan, he's the new one. Han Solo Imperial Stormtrooper outfit, Luke Skywalker, Yavin, Rebel Fleet Troop. Actual, or is it the... No, actually, sorry, bear with me. Let me backtrack a little bit. I think the Sand Trooper's been done before. I don't think the Rebel Fleet Trooper's been done before. I could be wrong. I don't... Actually, they could all be... Apart from the Sand Trooper and Han Solo in Stormtrooper and Walrus Man, I think some... I can't honestly remember. I don't honestly remember. But anyway, I should be unboxing these later on at some point in a separate video. Yesterday, when I went shopping, I picked up this, which is really cool. It's all about the creation and the production of Fawlty Towers, written by John Cleese. May not have actually been written by him, but it's certainly credited to him, with an afterword by Connie Booth. It's got some little sort of storyboards in there, and also what I particularly liked, I've got to leaf through and get to it now, was we've got some set designs and sketches, but what was really cool is floor plan, kind of like in 3D, including upstairs. I've had a flick through this. Really good book. I liked it a lot. It's good. So anyway, yes, that's my Saturday. I will be punished for having a nice time and for saying that I'm for hitting the 10 days, but that's just tough. Or, you know, maybe life could leave me alone for a little bit. That would also be nice. I think I've been through enough, don't you? So yeah, that's it from me for now.